Got it. And so now I should be able to share and everything.
Yes.
All right. Let me go ahead and just slide this over. Can you guys see the screen okay?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Looks good.
Awesome. Okay, so thanks so much for allowing me to hold the training today. I know that every time I do these, I try to give as much value as I possibly can. Just a couple of things to know is that I never claim that any of my trainings or my ways are the right ways. There's a lot of different ways you can do things, and especially, we're talking about content, we're talking about marketing. There's lots of different ways to spin it. But I am going to share something specific, which is a workflow that I created. But I did not this is not new stuff that's like been invented brand new. This is just something that I've seen work and I've deployed before. So I call it the content maximizer. There's no pun intended with my name, Max and maximizer. I did not try to do that. People have pointed that out, but I promise I wasn't trying to be funny or cheeky or anything. But this is going to be a way to organize, systemize, and make your content go the extra mile. So I'll go ahead and get started. And then I don't think I'll need 90 minutes, but after, I'm totally willing to answer any questions, or if anybody wants to talk about anything. I also put my contact information in the chat. So if you guys need to email me or text me, don't let the 651 number fool you. I'm from Minnesota originally, but I'm in Southern California now. So that's a good step up. All right. So the agenda, what we're going to talk about is the content maximizer formula. First, what is the content maximizer? Then we're going to go into what do I need to use the content maximizer formula. Next, what does the content maximizer system or what does the system consist of? So what are the different elements that you need to line up in order to create this workflow and implement? And then lastly, we'll talk about actually implementing and distributing the content maximizer system once you get everything dialed in. All right, so what is the content maximizer? Let's go ahead and start peeling back the layers. So the content maximizer system is a systemized approach to content marketing that you can use to get more ROI. You build a unique and relevant brand, and you can connect with your target clients authentically as yourself. It is also a workflow that's broken into steps so you can repeat it, because making sure things are repeatable is definitely going to be an asset. It's a way to make your content unique, as opposed to reposting content from services or just from any other, a lot of people will see somebody post something and they'll just kind of regurgitate that, which, it can be valuable to repost other people's content if you're going to curate it or offer an opinion, but it's very difficult to build a brand and be unique if you're just repurposing and reposting everybody else's content. So we'll talk about that. What I will tell you is that the content maximizer is not a shortcut. I know that, as busy agents, you guys are looking for ways to put, get more out of doing less. And that's a smart business plan. That's what I try to do too. I mean, that's like the whole name of the game, which isn't to say, that's why this is systemized. And that's why, there's a workflow built out, but it's not a shortcut. So it does take commitment. It does take work, but in the long run, the results do compound, and it's really worth it if you commit. And we'll talk a little bit about why that is with branding when we get there. The content maximizer is trackable and measurable. So what you are doing, you will be able to measure the results. And lastly, it's really at its foundation, it's a method to take one piece of content and multiply it several different ways and distribute it in different channels. So you're getting more for less at the end of the day. All right, so the features of the content maximizer system. One, it's systemized. So again, it's repeatable. You can do this as often as you wish or as far apart as you wish. Just depends on what you're comfortable with. It's a workflow, so it's easy to follow because I break things down into steps that you can lay out in your project management system or tool. And we'll talk a little bit about content or project management tools and different ways to really get this dialed in so it's not overwhelming. It's unique. The content maximizer allows you to be uniquely yourself and to promote your personal brand in your own voice. And again, it's not a shortcut. So it is something that's going to take commitment and time. But again, you guys, you're going to be building your brand organically, which takes time again, but it pays off. All right, everybody wants a content shortcut. I love the easy button there. I wish that I could tell you guys, hey, all you got to do is sign up and give your information and everything is done for you. But if you're trying to build your own personal brand that's going to impact people, that's very, very difficult to do. So top thing I want to talk about is generic content. If you're just reposting blogs and social media content from RSS feeds, or from content marketing programs, and that's not unique. It's the same thing as everyone else is doing. So there's a lot of other real estate agents that are grabbing things from Keeping Current Matters, or grabbing things from the lighter side of real estate, or grabbing things from Inman or Medium or what have you, and they're posting. So I don't mean to say that that's not valuable, because it does serve value, but it's not unique, and it's not going to help you stand out in building your own brand. Now, again, another downfall of taking shortcuts: poor search engine results. Google bots and social algorithms, they pick up on replicated content and generic content, and you're not going to be rewarded for that. So if I go to Keeping Current Matters and they're like, here you go, Max, here's a blog post that's all done for you. Just post it on your website and post it on social media. That's great. I can do that. It's convenient, it's quick, and it's delivered to me. But Google will read that and say, okay, this copy and this blog and title is exactly the same as thousands of others that I see. And you're not going to rank for that. Same thing in the social algorithms. If you're posting off to another website or another service, and there's been, several thousand other agents that have posted the exact same thing, Zuckerberg knows what's up, guys. So it's very tough to get a lot of engagement and traction if you're trying to build and grow. Now, if you've got a following that's loyal to you and you just want to serve value to those people, I get it. Like, go ahead and, hey, repost something that's valuable. So I don't mean to say it's not worth it or not valuable, but I'm saying if you're trying to grow your your own brand and really become a thought leader, then I would caution against posting other people's content or these generic content. Now, I'm going to tell you how to use these services and make it your own easily. So that's a good thing. And then lastly here, lack of strong branding. Strong brands are going to dominate. There's nothing strong or unique about posting the exact same thing as every other realtor is doing. Now, I believe that a couple months ago, there was a Tom Ferry training where he talked about the shift of consumers towards trusted brands. That's where the consumer mindset is going, because there's so much competition now. There's so many different, everybody that's got a computer in their pocket, one of these things, can not only see and search brands, but I mean, everybody can make content. Anybody that wants to become an agent can post their own content. So if you want to stand out and really grow into the next, 5-10 years here, you're going to have a strong brand. That's going to be really important. And I know Tom Ferry talked about that, and I know it's kind of cliche to quote him, but hey, that Tom Ferry is Tom Ferry for a reason. All right, so let's talk about some statistics here. Why do you want to differentiate your brand? Well, let me take you through a few stats. 64% of customers with a brand relationship, or I'm sorry, 64% of customers with some sort of brand relationship claim that aligned values was that reason. So people that are looking for services are looking for brands that have similar values to them. If they don't know what your values are, there's no way that they're going to be able to relate to that. And that's over half of consumers, according to this study. 56% of customers are more loyal to brands that align with their values or get them. So again, that's another reason. I know this is especially big for millennials and Gen Z. The bottom right there, about 66% of millennials and Gen Z prefer brands that have a mission statement or that stand for something. So it's great to be the knowledge broker about real estate in that space. That's wonderful. That's going to get you, that you're going to go very, very far doing that. However, you have to remember that anybody that's 35 or younger, the second, like for me personally, if somebody's pitching me on something, or if I learn about their business, I'm going to look them up. I'm going to look them up on Google. I'm going to look them up on social media. I want to know who this person is, what they're all about. The average person or consumer knows 12 real estate agents. Unless it's my cousin or somebody that I have a close relationship with. How am I going to discern on who to choose? I'm going to look at where I'm in alignment with this person outside of knowing about real estate. Every realtor is going to know about real estate. Over on the right, 5 to 7 impressions are typically required before a consumer will recall your brand, right? So the consistency matter is important, and you want to continue to do this over a long period of time. Building purpose into your brand can have a big payoff, with purpose-driven brands outperforming the stock market by 120%. Now, I know, we're not necessarily competing with the stock market here, but just being purposeful in your branding and differentiating, that's going to take you far. And then lastly, Forrester discovered that emotional resonance is important for branding, with 50% of branding derived from its ability to resonate with users. So again, this goes far beyond knowing about your business. This goes into your values, what you're all about. Is it work-life balance? Is it honesty? Is it integrity? Your personal brand, because people want to do business with people these days, not with companies. So just something to keep in mind. Next, why focus on maximizing content? And actually, specifically, why focus on search engines and branding on Google? Well, 85.4% of internet users search for information online at least once a month. Again, we've all got computers in our pockets. That's how people look for info about things, right? Google owns just under 92% of the global search engine market. So if Google is going to prioritize your brand, that's a big deal. It's important for you to know how to do that. Whether or not you choose to, put a lot of effort into ranking on Google is one thing, and you may not need to, depending on what your goals are. But it's definitely important if you want to grow. And more than 60% of Google searches originate from mobile devices. So making sure you're mobile friendly. 70% of organizations list blog content as one of the top 5 content channels. So blogs work, and they work for lead generation. So I'll talk more about blogging as we get into this. 41% of nurture campaigns feature thought leadership blog posts, right? So thought leadership, your personal take on things, your unique standpoint, or, sharing somebody else's content with your own spin on it. That's good. But we're going to talk about becoming a thought leader, because that's what you want to do to differentiate. You want people to trust you. You want to be an authority. So when people see your content, you want them to think, I'm going to listen to this person because they're an authority and I get value out of what they say, and they're not just spitting out what everybody else is, right? And then lastly here, 82.8% of internet users view digital videos at least once per month. So I'm going to talk about video content as well here, and the willingness to do video, even if it's uncomfortable for you. There's a good reason to do it. All right, so let's get into the actual elements of the system. Lastly, just put in the effort and be the purple cow. All right, so Seth Godin is somebody that I would recommend you guys check out. He's a very good marketer. He's got a book called The Purple Cow. He kind of paints this picture of driving down a road and seeing a field full of brown cows, and then seeing one purple one. And if you see everybody and everybody looks just the same, it's probably not going to make an impact on you. But if you're driving down the field, a road, and you see all these cows and they're all brown and white, and there's one purple one, you're going to stop and be like, whoa, man, I'm going to go, check this out, because that's unique and different. So stand out. People connect with people they know, like, and trust. Be your authentic self so you can attract your perfect clients. Rank on Google. Google's going to reward informative, original content that's unique and well done. You're going to rank higher with your own content that answers your clients' questions better than anybody else. And then lastly, create a strong brand. So just a last bit on the differentiation. All right, so let's get into the content maximizer formula here. Here's the different elements. So this is what you guys are going to need: simple editing apps and SEO tools. So simple editing apps, I mean for editing videos, for editing photos and things like that. Now there's a million of them out there. I would just say whatever works best for you. Some SEO tools, I'm going to list some of those off. There are some good ones that are free, and then some of them are paid as well. But I will dive into that a little bit as well, and the importance of those. Next, you got to know what your client needs. You guys are all professionals, so you already know that. That's a given, but I just wanted to add that on there. Lead magnets and landing pages, a website with a blog. Going to need social media profiles. I'm not saying you need every social media profile, but social media is a big part of growing a business today. So I would recommend knowing how they work and having a couple of strong social media profiles to grow your brand. Email and or text messaging. You don't need both of them if you don't want. And then again, willingness to shoot videos. This is important. Okay, so simple editing apps and SEO tools. For SEO tools, Google Analytics, Google Search Console, or SEMrush, which is one that I use. These are tools that allow you to help or to find out how your website is performing and what your target clients are searching for online. So if you want to rank on search engines, then it's important that you know in your farm or in your area what buyers and sellers, what they're looking for, what questions that they are asking. So this is a way for you to gain insight into that. So when you're crafting your content for your maximizer formula, you are answering those questions and you know that they're being searched for because we can pull the monthly volume of searches. Editing apps like InStories is one that I use. It's one to edit videos for Instagram or for Facebook or for TikTok. And Canva is really popular. That's a fairly easy one to use. Like, guys, I am not a designer at all. And I figured out how to use Canva pretty well, and it doesn't take too long. So, you can create and edit videos and image-based content easily there. And then Meta Business Suite. It's good to have a Meta business account for Facebook and Instagram. This is going to allow you to schedule posts. You can run ads here and just really stay on top of your insights. So when you're tracking and analyzing the social media portion of your content maximizer, you're able to see the types of engagement, views, likes, reach, and even any clicks and things like that you're getting. So this is what I mean when I'm talking about the simple apps and SEO tools. Second, know your target client. So you can use the SEO tools and research to dial in your target persona. If you haven't created specific target personas, I know that as real estate agents, we want to reach out to anybody who wants to buy or sell. But the wider the net, the harder it can be to gain traction. So what I would recommend is, you're going to use these SEO tools to laser in on exactly who is for you. Who are you trying to reach? You got a luxury home buyer. Maybe you have that for your first target persona. So you dial out some simple demographics and psychographics. 33 to 55, works in IT, appreciates vaulted ceilings, large square footage, and add-ons. You might have a millennial home buyer, tech savvy. Biggest percentage of female home buyers to date are millennial home buyers. Loves detached single family homes. They're interested in renovation. So, doing some research on this and using some of these online tools, research tools, can help you, along with your own personal experience and knowledge, to hone in who exactly these people are. Because once you do this, and when you're doing your content maximizer, you're able to craft your messaging much more effectively and personalize it. So this is a target persona where, like, if you were really going to dial it in, yours might look something like this. So I just put this on here for good measure, but this one is a luxury home buyer. And you can see, like, this one gets really specific. But these are great to have, especially like during a listing presentation. Like if if you saw a home that had crisp, clean styling and boosted natural light, had all the amenities that, the vaulted ceilings, the open floor plan, the chandeliers with large bathroom, bathrooms, things like that. When you're at your listing appointment, you could tell your seller, hey, I already know statistically who's probably going to buy your home. This is the person. So I know how to market to this person because I already know exactly what they're looking for. So keep in mind too, having a dialed in target persona can be a great asset for you on listing presentations. All right. So for the content maximizer, you also need lead magnets and landing pages. So I just have just a generic one that I grabbed. This is the home seller's guide over here. And that would be an example of a lead magnet. A lead magnet, it doesn't have to be a PDF or a downloadable guide. It could be a video series. It could be a webinar. But the idea is that a lead magnet is something that of value that you exchange to a buyer or seller in exchange for their contact information, so their email, their phone number, etc. And then the landing page is the vehicle that they're going to land on to entice them to sign up. So you can kind of see what that might look like over here. It's got the name of the guide, what they're going to get out of it, and then what you want them to do. In this case, put in your city, state, or zip, get started. Or you might see an email form, add your email address here, phone number here. Anyways, landing pages. And I know you guys know what landing pages are because you use First Team's great tools. And we'll talk a little bit more about this, but you will need lead magnets and landing pages. And then a blog. So blogs equal leads. I know, back in the day, a lot of people used to blog about cats and things like that, which is all good. But blogs are they should be designed to answer your target client's questions about real estate, buying or selling a home, the transactional process, etc. Right? So this is you literally answering questions that your clients have online. And again, for the content maximizer formula, since we're using search engine optimization, those tools, we already know what they're asking. And I'll show you that as well. So you should also include calls to action that prompt the viewer to engage and to continue to the next step. So if you put out great content that's valuable, that's awesome. But if you don't have a call to action in there that's going to move them to the next point or to the conversion point, like a landing page or a lead magnet, then you're probably not going to get much traction, because these days you got to tell people what you want them to do. There's a lot of content out there. So we're in the attention getting game these days. We got to keep their attention. Next, social media profile. So I mentioned this is a part of it. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok. These are kind of like, the big five. Some people use Twitter, some people don't. Don't worry if you're not on TikTok, it's not the end of the world. I know that's the biggest buzz right now. The truth is that if any of these social media profiles, if you work them and you know them well and you build a following, any of them work. Okay. So you can really dial yourself into any of these and gain traction. Even if everybody's like, Facebook's dead, it's all about TikTok. I get it. TikTok is trending and all that, but it doesn't mean that you can't succeed in social media if you're not on TikTok. But you will need some social profiles. And then willingness to shoot video. So, video is the future, building authority, gaining trust, getting clients. I know that, real estate marketers talk about this a lot. Content maximizer will mean that you need to shoot some video. You got to be willing to do this. And that's going to be episodic video content. An example, doing a video about your lead magnet, which could be, your ultimate guide to selling your home, or like a real tip series, what's going on in the market, things like this. And then also, lifestyle video content. If you want to do a neighborhood highlight, or doing a listing video, or videos that highlight your brand, your values, you as a person. When we were talking about branding earlier, showcasing your personal brand that way, so you can evoke some emotion and show your potential clients that your values are aligned with theirs. So you will need a willingness to shoot video. And if anybody is nervous or is having problems getting themselves to shoot video, please text me, email me, or call me. I've worked with people and got them to the point where they're shooting great video content. So just let me know, because I know what that's like, because I didn't like doing it at first either. And email and or text messaging. Again, if you're not doing text marketing, no big deal. If it's not for you, that's totally cool. But content maximizer for this formula, you're going to need email, which I know you're all brilliant agents, so you're doing, and or social media marketing. So though, I'm sorry, text message marketing. So those are the components. Now let's talk about the steps on how to dial this in. So the first step, we're going to do topic research and select topics. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to use our simple SEO tools to find the highest volume search topics in your farm or area. And we're going to make a list of what those are. Okay. Now, you may have, in fact, I know you guys already have resources that you can use, because First Team Marketplace offers tons of valuable resources that you can use and you can make your own. There's buyer's guides, there's seller guides, all the market updates, the market updates that come out on First Place, and just any sort of generated content from Social Media Concierge. All of this stuff is great. I'm not suggesting that you don't use it. I'm suggesting that you make it your own. And make it unique, put your own spin on it. Okay. So you've already got a great resources, guys, if you don't want to use the SEO tools. However, I will go over that with you. And then outline content. You want to take your content, the topics, right? And create a lead magnet with one of them. So one topic is going to be your lead magnet. And then with the other topics, you're going to use to create blog posts. And the brilliant thing about this is that I'm going to show you this too. A lead magnet is usually dialed out in sections, and you can create blogs out of each section of your lead magnet. So it really eliminates the need for you to research and pick a whole slew of different blog content topics, because if you have a good lead magnet, all of your blogs are going to be listed out for you right there. You just need to expand on them. Now let me see if I can move this real quick. Can you guys still, can you see somebody just chime in and let me know. Can you see, did the screen change?
Yes.
Okay, great. So you can see this here, topic research, selling a home. You guys can all see this?
Yes.
Okay, great. So this is SEMrush, and I'm just going to show this to you because this is super cool. If you guys don't have experience using one of these, anybody can do this. I pay for my subscription because that's the amount of value I get out of it. But for example, here, what I did is I ran a topic search for selling a home in the United States, and I selected Irvine. So I want to know, what are consumers searching for on Google in regards to selling a home? And SEMrush spits back at me all of these topics, different topics and then subtopics. So for example, right here, homes for sale has a volume of 301,000 searches per month. And if I click into that, it's going to give me all of these top trending articles. So I get an idea. A lot of people are looking at, avoid these mistakes when selling your home, how to sell your house, a complete guide, how to sell your house by owner, 9 things to know before selling for sale by owner, 8 steps to selling a house in California. So it's going to give you trending content. And then over here, it's going to give you all these questions. So these are great things to keep in mind. If I'm trying to dial in my content maximizer and I do this, like, okay, well, I'm going to create a lead magnet out of, selling a home in California, or how to sell a house by owner in California. Maybe I make that my guide, my downloadable lead magnet. And then for blog posts, you can look over here. What are some tips for selling your home? What are fast ways to sell a home? As a realtor, what is the secret to selling a house? How can I sell my home in only 3 weeks? So there's great questions that people are asking online that you can create content for, that literally answers these questions, and then you publish it. And that's going to increase the chances of people in your farm or your area landing on your content, because you know what they're searching. So you're writing content that answers these questions. So I just wanted to make sure to show you, this is an example of an SEO tool that I like to use. Now, let me know, did it switch back to the presentation?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so that's the first step. All right, so step 2, create your lead magnet and your blogs. Now, I've used this home seller's guide, for example. I've got this over here for my lead magnet. I'm going to switch the screen again, and we're going to open up this lead magnet. We're going to look at it. So let's say I chose to create a home seller's guide. I'm going to make that as my lead magnet, and I'm going to make it into a PDF download. So buyers or sellers are going to have to give me their email or phone number in order to get this guide, right? This is what this is going to look like. Did the screen switch? So you guys can see this? Fantastic. Okay. So let's take a look at this home seller's guide. It's broken out into sections. There's the intro, expect great service from your realtor. And there's some bullet points here, but anyways, these are all going to be broken out with headings and then paragraphs. So for example, I have my whole lead magnet, and then I might take preparing your home so it's more attractive to buyers. And that will be the title of one of my blogs, right? So I'm going to look through my lead magnet, and I'm going to look for the headings, and those may be what I'm going to call each blog post. So if I go back over here, I've got my lead magnet, and then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, however many blog posts I want to make out of each paragraph. Now I do have some videos where I can, go more in depth and exactly how I've done this before. But anyways, if anything about this is unclear, again, feel free to call me, email me, drop me a line, and I can explain more of this. But essentially, you're taking your lead magnet that you've created, and you're going to go through each section of your lead magnet and create a blog post to expand on from each section. Okay. That's the second step. After we do that, you're going to take your blogs and your lead magnet, and you're going to create your video scripts out of them. So I talk to a lot of agents that are like, I know I should do video, but I don't know what to say. Or, people are doing the market tips, and I don't just want to do market tips because that's what I see everybody doing. Okay, well, so then here's a little hack for you. So you've got your blogs and your lead magnets, and over here to the right, this is basically all I did was I took one section of a blog or a lead magnet, and I made a video script out of it. So here's the formula. You create one long form video for YouTube. 3 to 7 minutes is kind of the sweet spot. And you use your lead magnet to do this. So you're going to summarize your lead magnet in a long form YouTube video. And you can use bullet points, or if you want to, dial a script into a teleprompter app, you can do that as well. And then you're going to do that with each one of your blog posts as well. You're just giving a simple video that goes over, hey guys, this is, Max Bergstrom of First Team Real Estate. I've got a great new guide for you. It's Ultimate Seller's Guide. Here's what it's going to cover. And then you just briefly go over each subject, and then you drop a call to action. Hey, click the link in my bio. You can download it right now. Something to that matter. Then next, you're going to create 30-second to 1-minute reels for Instagram, Facebook, and or TikTok. And you can use each heading of your lead magnet paragraph or your blog paragraph to do that. So check it out. Your blog is already done, and it might look something like this. So for example, this is a blog, home closing costs. It does, you guys don't need to pay attention really to the title, but this is an example. I've got my blog here, right? So I'm going to do a video that summarizes the full blog. And then also I'm going to do a 30-second reel that summarizes this first section, escrow and title fees in California. Then I'm going to do another quick 15 to 30-second video maybe that summarizes recording fee. Then I'm going to do another 30-second video that summarizes the NHD. And I'm going to do this for this whole entire lead magnet. And every time I post that, I'm going to drive people back to where they can see my blog or where they can download my lead magnet. So this is the formula. And then again, pro tip, make sure you introduce yourself and the topic in the video in the beginning, and include your call to action. Again, you got to tell people what to do or they're not going to do it. So over here to the right, I just took, an example of something from that lead magnet. Maybe somebody wants to know about home renovations and which ones are market smart. And I really did not alter this paragraph much. I added in an intro, and I added in, a call to action at the end. But this is going to be like, hey, everyone, Max Bergstrom here with First Team Real Estate. Today's video, we're going to talk about renovations. Now, generally speaking, few homeowners renovate their homes in order to sell them. After all, they know they might not recoup the full cost of the renovations in the sales price. But there are certain renovations that may really help the overall impression of a property's characteristics and quality. And as such, it's going to pay for, or I'm sorry, will more than pay for themselves. So if you're thinking of renovating, putting your home on the market, be sure to think carefully. And then you basically list out, right, what those are. A fresh coat of paint is one of them. You know, some extra space or whatever the tips are. It's the same information as you've got in your blog. It's the same information as in your lead magnet. So you don't have to write a full script. You just have to tweak it a little bit, add an intro, and then want more tips on getting more value from your home when you sell, get the full guide, tap the link in my bio. And hey, stay tuned for tomorrow's video. We're going to be talking about how to leverage your home equity. So, you know, it's not difficult to do once you kind of get in the rhythm of doing it. That's the hardest part, is just, you know, starting and mapping it out. So this is the third step here, using your blogs and your lead magnet to create your video scripts. Fourth step in the content maximizer workflow, batch shoot your content. So you guys are probably thinking right now, like, man, you know, how am I going to make time to do all this? I'm busy. I got listing appointments. I'm trying to lead generate. I totally get that. So what I recommend doing is I recommend you time block it, you know, and batch shoot it. So, you know, you've got your lead magnets, your blogs, you essentially already have your video scripts, because you only need to really add an intro and a call to action. So, you know, use a teleprompter app for that when you're creating your videos on your phone, or jot down some bullet points, block out a few hours and knock out some videos. I mean, you can do this all in 3 or 4 hours. So you could shoot a month's worth of video content, you know, in 3 or 4 hours. It's all about planning it out and making sure you're lining up all of your resources and assets that you need. And then honestly, guys, like, it's just like anything else. Going to the gym sucks when you first do it, but the more you do it, the more you end up liking it and the easier it gets. Like, you might find that doing video, you actually get amped and stoked on it, because you're stepping out of your comfort zone. And then once you start posting regularly and you're sharing this value and you start seeing, you know, comments coming in from people, you may really, really start to enjoy it. That's been, you know, an experience that's been reported to me by a lot of agents. So keep that in mind. But step 4, batch shoot this stuff, so you're not, you know, having to worry about shooting a video every day. Step 5, create a landing page for your lead magnet. So, you know, you've got your lead magnet that you grabbed off of Marketplace through First Team, or if you had, you know, a freelancer, a First Team freelancer create one for you. However you want to do it is fine. Now you got to get a landing page for it. I think in KV Core, I'm pretty sure you can do this in like 3 seconds. You can build a landing page. So definitely utilize that tool if you're not doing that already. But this is your conversion point where you're going to, you know, you want to send all of your prospective clients here. So you're going to want to keep your language and messaging simple, straightforward, and as personalized to the target as you can, right? And then you're going to add this landing page link to your link tree on Instagram or on Facebook, on LinkedIn. You can actually put the link in your post. So you're going to want to have that in there, right? So, because when your call to action is going to be, hey, click the link in my bio, get the guide right now, or hey, click the link below to get the guide right now. And then you can also add this link into your blog posts and your website. So when you create a new guide, you want people to have that on your website. That should pop up at the top of your website as a resource. Because what did I say in the beginning of the presentation? You know, 82% of people walking around with smartphones every day are searching for information online. So, you know, somebody in Irvine that's looking for selling a home, or wherever your farm is, and you've got a guide that lists out the whole entire process and it's easy to find, and you've got all this great supporting content, you're going to up the likelihood of them finding you and downloading this. And on your landing page, this is where your conversion happens. So this is where your potential client adds their info, and then they get a copy of this guide, and then you get the lead into your CRM, and you can integrate that into KV Core or whatever you use. Or I like text messages, so I know if I get a lead, boom, a text comes right to me. So if I need to follow up with that person, I can do that. So step 5, get a landing page for your lead magnet. Step 6, post your videos and your links to social media. So we talked about the long form YouTube video. Publish that to your video, your YouTube channel, and add the link to your landing page in your description. And keep in mind too, in the video, tell them to hit the link in the description, and in the description, make it noticeable so they can see that link, so they can click to it. Post reels to social media. You can space these out. You know, we talked about that a blog post has 4 or 5 different headings, different paragraphs. So right there, that's 4 or 5 different videos for you that you can post, one a day, one every other day, whatever you're comfortable with, and you're driving people back to your lead magnet for conversion, right? So you're going to post those to Instagram, space them out, and add the call to action to the landing page in your link tree or in the post. And then, guys, write different captions for different profiles. I know it's easy to just dial everything into an auto poster, but you know, different, like Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn, like, you know, you want to customize the captions for all of it, because the flow and the tonality is different for LinkedIn than it is for Instagram. So if you're just like dialing something in and letting it go and it's all the same, and you know, for example, I see people post their links in Facebook and then they auto post it to Instagram, but you can't click a link in an Instagram post. So, you know, I know it takes extra time, but you know, we talked about not taking shortcuts all the time. So go in there and, you know, craft this messaging so it resonates with people, so you stand out, and make sure little things like that, that you're not wasting time. Because if you're putting in time on your content and then you're just auto posting it and there's little nuances that make it so people can't access it, you're just shooting yourself in the foot. So pay attention to that stuff, and then use insights and analytics to measure the effectiveness. You know, I hear people all the time like, well, I just posted a bunch of videos, and they posted a bunch of videos, but they're not looking at how they're doing. So they don't know, you know, did people watch them? Are people engaged? Have you reached new accounts? You know, are you gaining followers? Are you losing followers? So, you know, getting dialed in on your analytics and being able to measure things, that's important. So step 6, you got your video assets from your batch shoot. Now you're going to distribute them to the different relevant channels. Step 7, your email or your text message. I took the same video script, because literally, right, it's from my blog post, right, or my lead magnet, and I created an email out of it here, and a text message out of it here. So you're just doing a little bit of modifications. So, you know, the email subject, renovations, which ones are market smart? Hi, first name. If you're considering renovating your home before putting it on the market, it's important to know which ones will give you the best return on investment. Here's 3 of them. You know, boom, boom, boom. Want more info? Download the guide. I would make these emails simple, black and white. Pretend like you're sending an email to your friend. You know, you want to, the people in your sphere, you know, you want to build a friend relationship with them. I wouldn't send my friend like a 9-page template with a bunch of pictures and a bunch of crazy colored graphics and a bunch of logos and branding stuff on it. I would send my friend a simple black and white, hey dude, you're looking for this, I've got a resource for you, happy to help, love, Max, click here. You know what I mean? So that, and I'm not saying that's the right way. I'm giving you guys, if you haven't tried this, try it out. And then on the right, a simple text message. It's the same exact message. Here's a few tips to get more ROI from your home renovations. A fresh coat of paint is good, affordable choice, yada, yada, yada. Want more tips? Get the full guide. Boom, share the link with them. So I didn't have to take time to write out a full campaign for all of this that you know, is completely separate. This is all coming from the one lead magnet that I created. I just have to put a spin on it. And step 8, lastly, test, track, and tweak. So again, I talked about social media insights. Most social media platforms have their own robust analytic and insight platforms. Meta Business Suite, you know, dial this in, guys, check it out. Drop me a line if you need some help with this, or you don't know where to find it, or you want to know what this stuff means. Google Analytics, you can track your client's journey through the content maximizer process with Google Analytics. You can look at where they're coming from, how many people came from what social profile, what content they're interacting with on your website, on your blog, which blog posts are ranking the best, you know, and then follow those people all the way through the funnel to, did they land on my landing page and convert? So again, you know, this takes a little bit of setup, but once you set it up, you know, you can log in and you learn how to look at this stuff, and you can really start to get an idea of you know, how your prospects and potential buyers and sellers are interacting with your content, and whether or not you need to tweak anything or do more of the same. And then lastly, triggers in your CRM and email analytics. So, for email campaigns, obviously look at the analytics, the open rate, the click-through rate, how many people bounced out, how many hard bounces did you get, things like that. If you're ending up in people's spam filters, that's all stuff that you're going to want to know. And then, set up a trigger for your landing page, and you can do, I'm fairly certain you can do this in KV Core, but as soon as somebody download your guide, boom, you get that lead straight into KV Core, and you can tag them buyer's guide download or seller's guide download. So when you reach out to that person, you know exactly what to say. So, like I said, one piece of content into many pieces distributed over many different channels, right? So out of this one lead magnet that you created, you've got several blogs out of it. You've got several Instagram reels out of it. You've got several YouTube videos out of it. You've got a robust email campaign, because again, you can break each paragraph into a different message for email. You've got a strong website call to action, and you've got a text messaging campaign if you want to do that. But you're just taking this one piece and you're maximizing it out and then blasting it out into many different channels, because different people interact with different methods of communication when it comes to content here. To view it differently, here's a little funnel. Up top, your blog posts with your call to action, your reel videos, your text messages, your YouTube videos, and your email messages and campaigns. All of these should be pointing people through this funnel so they get to your landing page for customer contacts exchange, right? And then once they convert there, the prospect gets the lead magnet and you get the lead. So every month, if you create a new lead magnet, or here's how I do this. The last week of the month, I'll ask myself, okay, I'm going to do my topics and I'm going to figure out what I'm going to use for my lead magnet this month. I'll do that and I'll pick my lead magnet and I'll create that. And then I'll use that and be like, all right, out of this, I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blogs. And then I'll write those or hire somebody to have them written, or, use tech or AI for assistance, because there are tools that can help you with that. And then schedule my video. I'll shoot my videos at the end of the month. And then, really by the end of the first week of the month, you're posting. You've got everything all dialed in. It's a time management thing and an organizational thing. And we'll get a little bit more into that before we end here. So, the 1,000-foot view, I know that every time I do these, I always go into so much info. So I'm trying to break this down as easy as possible. But step one, your topics. Figure out what your lead magnet topic is and your blog topics. Step two, create your lead magnets and your blog posts for the month. Step three, create your video scripts out of your lead magnet and your blog posts. Step four, schedule your batch shooting and go for video content and go take care of that. Step five, create a landing page that you're going to attach your lead magnet to use that to direct traffic to from all these channels. Step six, go ahead and schedule your social posts or post them however you want to do it. Just make sure that you're differentiating between the different campaigns, as opposed to just scheduling once and having everything go out. For thought leadership content and for valuable content, again, if you guys want to do that because it saves time, I get it. I've done it too, but I would strongly recommend that you take the time to craft the messaging individual for the different platforms. Step seven, send out your email and your text campaigns, again, with that call to action to drive them back to the landing page. And then step eight, track and tweak. You're going to measure your landing page conversions by how many people dripped into your CRM or through whatever tools that you can use to do that. And then you're going to track and tweak your email, your social media. So just keep an eye on what things you should be measuring to find out if your content maximizer workflow and your content is effective for you. Lastly, but Max, how do I do all this stuff by myself? If you feel like this dude looks in the picture, I get it. You're not by yourself, though. That's the truth of it. First team freelancers can assist you with a lot of this stuff. I would be willing to bet. You can also outsource people to write blog content. It's really not that expensive to do this, and it's well worth it if you find somebody that's good. Shooting video is something anyone can do, and the more you do it, the faster and easier it gets. And hey, you might even like it when you get into the flow of it. So I completely understand people's aversion to wanting to do some of this stuff. It's uncomfortable, but the truth of the matter is, guys, if you got a business and you're like, I just want to work my sphere, all I'm going to do is call people, and that's working for you, that's great. But the data and statistics show that as we move forward in time, the agents that are leveraging content marketing, digital marketing, direct mail marketing, personalization, things like this, those are the people that are going to continue to gain traction. And the agents that are ignoring this stuff, they're going to continue to lose traction. So lastly, I'm here to help you get this dialed in. If you need any assistance, or hey, if you want me to, audit your online business or something like that, and check out where I think we could help, or that First Team's resources could help, or how to dial in one of these, or personalization, any of this kind of stuff, go ahead and drop me a line. I'm willing to, have a conversation and help you guys out. A last couple of tips about distribution. One, reels. Look, unless you have a loyal following on social media already, there's little effectiveness in just posting pictures to your regular feed or graphics to your regular feed. Post videos to reels. And if you want to post an image, make that a reel. You can make any image a reel. In Instagram, you can make it a 5-second video clip and add, a little sticker or a graphic to it. Posting reels is the way to go. That's how you're going to get more leverage on Instagram, on Facebook. Obviously TikTok, kind of revolutionized that. A CTA, call to action. People will not do what you want them to do unless you tell them to do it. So anytime you post any kind of content for your business, tell them to do what you want. If you want them to visit a link, tell them, visit the link, tap below. I don't even say click anymore because everybody's doing stuff on their mobile phone. So, you don't click on a mobile phone, you tap or you follow. So that, even the language is important. So that's what I do. Tags and keywords. On YouTube, leverage tags and keywords in your description to make sure your content is more searchable. YouTube is like a search engine, because think about it. When you go to YouTube, you usually tap in what you're searching for. It's different than social, like Facebook, where you're just kind of scrolling. So if somebody finds you on YouTube, they're probably searching for you, or searching for, your content, your business space. So that's important. And then Linktree on Instagram, add your lead magnet landing page or any other content you want to share to your Linktree on Instagram. Don't just send people to your website, because it's a lot. If you do that, if you put your website in your bio and you don't have a website that's really set up clearly to convert, then you're not going to get as much traction. But your lead magnet, you can have, your newest blog post, your newest lead magnet, home valuation, click here. Like, you can have everything dialed out really nicely so people on Instagram can find you, because unlike Facebook, you can't post links straight in captions. Just a couple of quick things. Again, hashtags. Blanket hashtagging is not as effective as it once was. So I don't know if you guys remember, like, when people were doing the several dots and then there's like 30 hashtags they were putting. You're not really gaining too much by doing that anymore. Really, any more than 5 is not going to help you. So use the highest ranking, most relevant 5 hashtags for your post. Internal links is another one for your blogs. So linking your blogs together with other relevant blogs is going to be beneficial for you, because one, it's going to keep people on your website longer. If somebody is on your website and they're reading one of your blogs and you link to a different one that may have a similar relevant message, then they may go ahead and click that and then read that other blog post, and thus they're engaging more with your brand. And then, the longer somebody is on your website, the better you're going to rank, because Google pays attention to that kind of stuff. So it's going to allow you to rank higher. Blog optimization, using headings in the correct format. So, all blogs, they've got a title, your title or your H1, your heading 1, and then they're broken with H2 and H3 for different sections. And that's important because that's how, when Google's bots crawl content on the internet, they look for those headings. So using formats when you're blogging, using categories and keywords and key phrases, all of that is going to help you rank more. And then lastly, project management. A project management tools have literally changed my whole entire outlook on business and business efficiency. So Trello has been a game changer for me. There's other ones. There's Notion, there's Asana, there's Monday. But using something like this, my gosh, guys, it's been such a blessing. So you can really maximize your productivity and dial in a workflow like this really clearly and get everything you need all in one place. And that's it. Looks like I took up about an hour, well, almost an hour exactly. So again, if you guys have any questions, you need help or a consult or anything, call, text, email me, Max Bergstrom at firstteam.com, or my phone number is right there. And, you know, again, if you're like, hey, dude, you know, I want to know, I want you to, you know, analyze my business or run an audit on my online content. I want to see where I'm at. I'm more than happy to help you guys do that. And again, please, please, please utilize First Team's resources. Utilize the marketplace. Utilize First Team freelancers. We've got all these tools that are specifically set up for you guys to grab valuable information for buyers and sellers and about the market that you can leverage. I would just say, make it yours, you know, make it your own, as opposed to just posting it straight off the bat. At least personally, that's what I would encourage you to do. That's all I got. I really appreciate the opportunity to do this and, you know, help everybody's having a great day. If anybody has any questions, go ahead and fire away.
Good morning, Max. It's Steve Vartanian from the Yorba office. How you doing?
Hey, Steve, how are you, man?
Good. I appreciate all your energy. I'm not so thrilled about the White Sox hat, but love
I'm
all
from the
energy.
Midwest, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I know. I didn't mean to challenge White Sox Nation. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Quick question. So what percentage of time do you feel successful people that are doing what you're doing spend on this? And what percentage of their business would you say is attributed to all this effort? And thanks again, Max.
Yeah, you're welcome. I mean, you know, I think that's a great question. And I think it would be, you know, probably different for everybody. I think that if you're going to leverage online marketing, it's all about getting the most bang for your buck, but also keeping your brand unique and keeping it personalized to yourself. So I don't know if this answers the question straightforward, but I'll tell you what I think people waste a lot of time doing. I think people waste a lot of time worrying about how others are going to judge them from posting videos and things online. And I think people get way too in their head about what, you know, how it's all going to look. So, I mean, I couldn't dial out a percentage, you know, off the top of my head. However, I think that would be interesting research and benchmarking to do. So what I could do for you is I could look up some statistics on that and then see if I can't follow up next week with some info about that, or shoot you an email personally and see what I found.
I don't mean to give you homework assignment, but I like what you said about, you know, not worrying about what you're posting, right? How it's received. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, worry about what you're posting, but just, you know, if you're not having the perfect hair day, no big deal. I mean, everybody is worried about their own life and their own things. So if that's what's holding you back from doing a video, I would just say, you know, it's just like anything else, you know, just do it. Just do it, you know, because you don't want to get caught up in paralysis by analysis, you know.
Max, I have a couple questions, and
Sure.
first I'll give a shout out to Linktree. Linktree is such a cool tool, certainly for one link to put in your email signature, but whatnot. So check that out. But I had a question for you. As far as, so I have agents come to me after speaking to a social media person, and blog is always thrown out to them, and I'm always like, you have 10 more steps to just take care of your own, you know, platform before you start worrying about what you're going to blog on. And then, my question, I guess, is as far as a blog goes, when does Google, rank you as unique? I mean, does it have to be a couple sentences, a paragraph before you link to what you're looking at? And then my other question was images. Can I purchase a Getty image and have that rank as well? Or should I be taking my own unique images and uploading those? Will Google recognize those as unique?
Sure. Yeah, those are both great questions. So to answer your first question, if you write your own content and post it in your blog, every so often Google's spiders, that's what they're, spider bots, they crawl websites and they read the content and then they determine how to rank it. Now, if and I'm not, don't get me wrong here, like I said in the beginning, I'm not chastising anybody for using companies that have ready to post blogs, because I think there's some value in that. If you're sending that to your sphere, and saying, hey, check this out, I think this could be valuable for you. But on Google, if I post something and then you post the exact same thing, and then 1,000 other people post the exact same thing, when those spider bots crawl, and you can request them to crawl, by the way, with Google Analytics, like you can request, hey, Google, crawl my site so you rank my content. But anyways, if you post it and it's the exact same as somebody else, then they're not going to rank you high enough, because you're doing, like, Google's smart. They're smart. So what they're looking for is, one, content that answers the question better than anybody else, and two, unique. So, I mean, look, you don't have to like scour every single blog post and be like, okay, like I'm not going to use any of the same words. It's not necessarily like that. But if it's in your own tonality and voicing, and it's just not repeated because an RSS feed just drips into your website, like that's not going to help your website rank. If you are writing your own blogs, even if they're shorter, I would say that's a step up from just having an auto poster do it for you.
Right. That's what I think I'm saying is how long, like, can it be a couple sentences of your own unique verbiage or a paragraph before Google recognizes it as
I mean, I would do all your own unique verbiage and sentences. So like, for example, if you get a new post, let's say you like keeping current matters, and you open up that post and you look at the info, rewrite it. Like, you don't have to reinvent the wheel here, but take the content and the topic and rewrite it, or, outsource some, but go to First Team Freelancers and see if there's somebody on there. Hey, can you rewrite this? So, it's not using the exact same words. So it just repurposes it, because, thousands and thousands and thousands of people might be using literally that exact same post with the exact same images, right? Now, for images, like, you can get stock images, but before you upload them into your website or your blog, you want to rename them, right? So if I'm doing a post about home renovations, I might, if you can take your own images, great. Your own organic images, awesome, do that. But like, let's face it, we're busy, right? So yeah, download stock, and then you can rename that image, home renovations, Max Bergstrom real estate blog, San Diego, or whatever home, so you just rename it something unique. So when you upload, it's because Google crawls images as well. So then they'll read that your unique image tag, and then they will rank your content based off of that as well.
I don't want to overdo this, but so speaking of renaming images, if you're going to upload images even to the MLS, and they're going to be sent out, right, as would you rename every image, even putting them into the MLS? Is the MLS going to send those images out with your, like, so Max Bergstrom, then the address, and then La Jolla real estate living room, right?
If I'm being honest with you, I don't know enough about specifically how the MLS is integrated in that way. However, I was just when I wasn't reading, let's face it, it's 2022. I was listening to a Jason Pantana podcast, and he was talking about the value of creating your own landing pages for listings, because you can geo target. So for example, if I have a new listing in, in Ladera Ranch in Irvine, I don't know on the MLS, it sounds like, that function isn't really available. But if you create your own landing page and you name all of the images and the video, and you optimize that for that farm or that location, then when Google crawls that, it's going to rank it higher. So maybe that answers your question, but honestly, yeah, I don't know as much about how, the tech stuff behind how the MLS integrates with Google and everything. There's more homework for me.
It's because of the White Sox hat.
Yeah,
That's all.
thanks, Steve. Thanks, Steve. Now you got everybody giving me homework.
Hey, Max.
Yes.
Hey, this is Jason Zwolak from the Irvine office. How you doing?
Hey, Jason. How you doing?
Good, thanks. A quick question about YouTube
Yes.
with two things. I've been using YouTube Buddy.
Mhm.
I don't know, and what are your thoughts on it? Like, I feel like it's all right. I've been using it for a while, but I haven't done a deep dive. I basically do keyword search and SEO.
Yep.
Like that kind of thing.
Yep.
But do you find that that's a good tool to be using with YouTube?
100%.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And then also with YouTube as well, I know YouTube's really starting to push YouTube Shorts.
Mm-hmm.
And so how, and I know, like, basically I do long form video onto YouTube, obviously. So
Yep.
like I'm doing like market updates, home, like real estate tips, investor corner, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
How would you incorporate? Because I don't want to basically have the same content, or would you do the same content? Would you do like a market update? Say if I did a market update for this week, and then I just did, hey, this is what's happening with the inventory, and just break that down to 30 seconds. And then would you do that as a 30-second short on YouTube as well as a short?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what I would do, man, is I would do a longer form video and put it on YouTube. You got your market update video, and then I would either break that long form video into 3 or 4 30-second shorts, or 5 or 6 30-second shorts, post the shorts on YouTube, and then post those videos as a reel, and direct people, hey, if you want to see the full video, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like, it depends on where you want to grow. But I think ultimately at the end of the day, you guys want dollars in the bank, you want deals out of this stuff. So having a conversion point where you're getting customer contact is big. But yes, if you think about it, people always say, well, what, should I go on Google? Should I go on YouTube? It's like, the answer is yes. Like, do it, all of it, because it's all interrelated. And Google owns YouTube, by the way. So if you're doing well on YouTube, it's going to rank your website and your web content higher. If you're doing well on Google, it's going to rank your YouTube channel higher. So these things are interrelated. But to answer your question, yeah, man, like, you could shoot, take that. So let's say your lead magnet is your marketing update, and you do like a long, robust lead magnet with marketing update. And then you take that lead magnet, and each section of it, you break into a 3-minute video. And then you take those 3-minute videos and break those into, 30-second to 1-minute videos. You post a long video on YouTube, and you post all the short videos over the next week or 2 weeks onto YouTube Shorts and Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn, and you direct people back into YouTube, or you direct them to download your newest market update, which has all the information.
Okay. So like because you're just basically cutting that video, right? That's what I've been doing.
Yeah. Like, look, like
I don't,
some people, sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, because basically I'll do a long form video, and then I'm strategically pausing in spots so that I can then cut that and make it look like it's not cut. If that makes sense. You're a
genius.
And then I'm repurposing. But I guess what I have been doing though is I've been posting the long form on YouTube, the long form on Facebook, the long form on Instagram TV, and the long form on LinkedIn, where I should be cutting that smaller to drive people to the YouTube. And same thing on TikTok.
Yep.
I'm kind of I'm basically repurposing everywhere. So
Yep, absolutely. There's a great app that I use that's just called Captions, where it's called Captions. Where you can take like a landscape YouTube video and resize it into a reel, and then add quick captions, and it does it pretty much automatically. And then when you post it onto your reels or YouTube Shorts, it looks good.
Okay, cool.
you know?
All right, awesome. And then, sorry, one more quick question. If each week I do a weekly, like, I call it weekly digest. It's basically a newsletter of my sphere and all my contacts. And
Yep.
in there usually is one of my long form videos. Would you do the long form or would you do the short form?
In your email?
In the email. Like it's basically, I do it on MailChimp. So it's just like, hey, market
Gotcha.
update. It kicks it to the YouTube channel. And then they
Okay.
can watch it right. It goes directly, they click on it, goes directly to my YouTube channel.
Okay, cool. So in that case, I mean, what you're looking for is, your email. You already know these people. You've already got their contact info. So
Right.
yeah, I mean, you could direct them to the YouTube channel, and then maybe or I mean, when they click on it, they're going to automatically go there. And you can put like full video. Watch the whole video, and then maybe at the bottom you put like hey, do you want to schedule a quick strategy session? Click here, and maybe that goes to your Calendly, or if you've got your market update guide, offer the full guide to them. Hey, do you want, you can download the full thing here.
Okay.
Something like that. But yeah, I mean, I don't think you want to make less steps for people, not more. So I don't think it would make sense for you to like send them to Instagram and then they have to go to YouTube and then you know what I mean?
Exactly.
You want to bring them right. Yeah.
That's why I've been doing it that way. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Awesome. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. This has been awesome.
You got it, brother.
All right, do we have any more questions for Max? All right, doesn't look like we have any other questions. So thank you so much, Max. This information was incredible. I mean, I was taking notes. Do you want to announce what you're going to be going over next week?
I've talked to those people.
Yeah. So
I just had
next week, we're going to be talking about becoming the neighborhood expert. So, I'm going to focus on utilizing content like this, but it's going to be more so focused on how do you scale up your farm if you want to move into a new one. How do you interact and become an authority in that neighborhood? Or if you're working your current farm and you just want to become the go-to agent, what do you have to do in order to make that happen? So that's what we'll be talking about next week.
Perfect. All right, everybody. So join us next week. Max will be here again. Thank you again, Max, for today. Incredible job. I'm looking forward to next week as well. So everybody, enjoy the rest of the week. Oh,
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks.
Bye.
$300,000 more.